What's going on? Mike Hobbs here, and in this video, I'm going to be walking you through step by step how to use Screenflow for the beginner. This is going to be 11 different tips on what I use Screenflow for and what you can be using it to edit marketing videos or any kind of video that you are trying to shoot. So let's get right into it. I don't want to waste any of your guys' time. All right, so first things first is make sure you have it downloaded once you've purchased it on telestream.net. You can pick up Screenflow here. This is by far my favorite screen recording all-in-one tool. So you can edit it, you can do everything with this tool. So definitely highly recommend this tool over anything else out there. But the very first thing you want to do is you want to right click on your Screenflow software if it's in your dock and then click new recording, or just go to your applications folder, find it in there, double click it. And then it should pop open this window right here where normally you would just start recording. Most people do this, but my first tip I want to give you in this video is not to do that, okay? You're actually going to want to create a new document first because this allows you to create the canvas size you want in the editor right out of the gate versus having to resize everything later, which makes it actually more complicated. And we want to keep this video for beginner level. So with that being said, when you click on new document, you have some presets you can do in here. If you can see right here, there's a 4K, there's 1080p, there's a vertical video. So there's some people who ask me, can I do a TikTok video in Screenflow? Yes, you can. You can do the vertical canvas right here. There's 1080p and there's vertical. And so those are the two that I mainly use. And when you choose it and then you click on the little button right here, it's going to pull open those different canvases. So let me show you what those look like once they've pulled open. So here's what the vertical video canvas shows. And I have it zoomed in at 25% here so that you guys can see it on the screen. So this is what anything in this black area is what's going to be in the video itself. So as you can see, it's a vertical video canvas. And then here is what a 1080p canvas looks like. It's a normal sized video. And this just makes it so much easier to edit once you have the canvas set up first. So once you have the canvas all set up and ready to go, now we're going to go on to tip number 2, where you're actually going to shoot the video and add it to this canvas. So the easiest way to do that is just click on File and then do Add Additional Recording. And then what this will do is it'll pop open this box again, and now you can start to record. So you just click on New Recording, and then you add all the inputs. Now the cool thing you can do is you can add your full screen input. That's the screen you're recording. Then you can add your webcam. So as you can see right here, if you click this little eyeball, now you see yourself on webcam. And then you also want to add an audio source. So whatever audio source you are using, choose your microphone right there. You can also click that little eye and I'll tell you if it's working. And then another cool thing Screenflow does is you could also add your computer audio or even your phone. So there's just a lot of cool things that you can do here, but on a basic level, you just want to choose your camera, choose your webcam, and your audio. And then you just click on the record button, and then it will just have a little countdown. And you might not see the countdown on the screen, but it's just in the middle of your screen. Then it starts recording everything, and then anything that on your computer that you're recording, it'll just do it. So then when you're done, you just click on Stop Recording, Stop Record, and then it pulls open this little box, and you have a couple options. You can create a new document, but we don't need to do that because we already created the one that we're doing right here, demo video. Add clip directly to timeline, click OK. And then what will happen is it will pull open right into your timeline, as you can see. Well, bam. So it shows your webcam there and then your screen. So if I move this down, you'll see that this is the screen and this is the webcam right here. So I already have a video that I shot that's a little bit longer. This is what it looks like when you first have it done. So that's basically how you record your webcam and your screen at the same time. So the next thing I want to just show you guys how to do real quick is if you, let's say for whatever reason, you messed up the sizing of this little black area here, the canvas. They call this the canvas. So let's say you somehow, maybe you just recorded a video and it just came out really big, right? So what you could do is up here at the top, you click on this little crop button, click that crop button, and then you can resize it right here. So if you ever mess up, you can just come back in here and resize it. So let's just say I wanted this smaller. As you can see, I can click that smaller, and then now everything in this little tiny box is what's in the actual video. And then if you can resize it as many times as you want. And then just remember that anything in this little canvas is what's in the actual video. So if you want something outside of the canvas, so if I expand this, you'll see that everything in here is in the video and everything outside of it is cut out of the video. So another example here is if I put my webcam right here and I zoom in, then this is what's in the video and this is what's not in the video. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. Tip number 4, if you ever need to sync your audio, then all you need to do, and when you're actually shooting your video, I would recommend just doing a little clap in your video somewhere in it, and I'll show you what I did with this video. So if we're down here, you can zoom in and you can zoom out. So what I suggest you do is zoom in, and then you see on the timeline here, you see where I'm clapping in the video. So what I will do is you want to highlight everything and move it away from the beginning. So you'll just move it over a little bit so that there's some space in the front here. Then what you do, and only do this if you notice that it's off. If it's not off, don't do this. Okay, so this is only a precaution. I always do that. I always clap in the beginning of my video just in case I need to sync the audio. Most of the time you don't have to. So for example, let me show you. If you come down here and you zoom in and you notice, so let me actually pull this open. Okay, so there's a little waveform right here, and you have to probably like squint in and to see it. But if you go like this and you see my hands come together right there on that waveform, it's already synced. I don't even have to do anything here. So this video is done. It's already synced. I don't have to do it again. But if for whatever reason it's not, let's say the waveform is to the right or the left, then here's how you sync it. And you want to do this first, because once you start doing cuts and everything, then it doesn't work. It's not as easy to sync. I right click on the webcam file and I click detach audio. Okay. And now let's just say it's off. It's up here somewhere. So what I do is I go to where in the video my hands touch. Basically right there. That's right when it's touching. Then I go to the audio track and I move. And it's hard to see because it's not completely zoomed in. I can zoom in a little bit better. There we go. So you see that little audio spike right there. I didn't clap very loud on this video, so probably it's just a little bit harder. But so what I do is I just like right there. And it might not be perfect, but now, as you can see, as it's clapping, it's basically there. Okay. So that is now audio is synced. And so now the next 2 things you need to do once you've synced your audio, then you go to here and you cut everything before it. Okay. So I like to just highlight everything and just do split at playhead. And then just delete all this stuff before it. And then that way it lines it up perfectly. And then just remove this gap by just highlighting everything and remove the gap. And now your audio is synced. The whole video file is synced. You don't have to worry about the audio for the rest of the video. So tip number 5 is resizing and editing your webcam. So right here, this is super simple. There's different tracks on your Screenflow timeline. So there's the video track, and now we have the audio track because they're separated from the last step. Sometimes these are together still, so you don't have to worry about that. And then here is the screen track. So you got 3 different tracks at the moment. Sometimes you'll only have 2 tracks if you didn't have to sync the audio. And so the first thing is you just click on your webcam track and you'll see that it highlights the webcam and you can move it around, as you can see. So now it's outside of the canvas if you want this cut off. Now, so what I like to do is I just like to drag the corner. Just click on the corner and drag it and make it small. And then just put it right there in the corner. You can also do some things with the cropping. So if you want to click on this, you click on the little video settings. You can crop the left if you would like. You can crop the right if you like. You can make it rounded. And so it's like a little bit more of like a circle. If you want a perfect circle, I found 550 kind of works the best. And then 400 and 400 on the cropping, and that makes it a circle. So that's just the little things you can do with the webcam, and you can throw that over there in the corner. So now you have a webcam in the corner, and then you'll notice that this doesn't look that great, right? So let's resize this to fit the canvas. So what I do is I just, again, just grab the corner and just resize it to what you want in the video, just like that. And let's say that's all I want in the video. And if you need to make this canvas a little bit smaller, just so you can kind of see what you're doing, and then blow it back up later, you can do that. If you need to move any of this stuff down, so if it's in the way, you can do that. And so there you go. And so again, that's what's in the video, and there's my webcam, and there is that. I'm gonna, for the sake of the rest of this video, I'm not gonna crop this as a circle just to make it simple, but that's how you do that. So then there's me in the corner. And so let's say I want to resize this later. Right here, I want to go full screen. All I have to do is cut this part right here, just right click, split, and then click on this. Now you have 2 separate files, and then I just resize the camera there. And let's say I want to go back to showing my screen. I go here, right here, this is where I want to go back. Again, right click, split. Also, if you noticed, if you don't like right clicking, you notice that there's a B, right? So you could also just click B on your keyboard and that splits it. So if you want to go a little bit faster, you can use keyboard shortcuts. And then what you do is you resize this little clip down here to where you want the corner again. And then as you notice, that's back to normal. So now you have a video that's down here, in the corner, back to full screen, corner, back to full screen. And that's basic resizing of your webcam. Now, tip number 6, this is a life changer when it comes to saving time. Whenever you're editing, you want to go through the video faster than the actual speed, because then it saves you time. So what I like to do is when you're playing, there's a little keyboard shortcut, and it's just the L key. So all you have to do is press the L key on your keyboard. So, and I don't know if you'll be able to hear this, but I'll play. Feature on how to speed up your video inside of Screenflow. And by far, it's probably the best time saving tip when it comes to video editing, because a lot of people, the most time they spend is actually scrolling. So I don't know if you're able to hear that, but basically the L key, it just speeds up the clip, okay? And it just allows you to scrub through your content faster and get through it faster. And whenever you're doing video editing, this has saved me tons and tons of time. Tip number 7 is splitting clips. But let's just say you wanted to cut something out right here. This is how you do it. I like to cut everything at once, because if you cut one thing and then not everything else, then it doesn't work as well. So just make sure you highlight all 3 clips, right click, click on split at playhead or B shortcut key. And then you come over here, do the same thing where you want to cut out. So let's say I wanted to cut out this little portion here. Again, I highlight all the clips, right click, split playhead or B key. And then I click on or highlight all these and press delete. So if I click delete, now there's a little gap. And then you just need to fill the gap. There's a couple ways to fill the gap. If you double click it and then press delete, you can fill each of those gaps. So the double click and delete. If you want to just highlight everything to the right and drag it, that's one way you can do the gap. But one of my favorite is actually my next tip. Tip number 8 is ripple delete. And this actually is really cool because sometimes when you have clips above each other, so let me show you what I'm talking about. So let's say sometimes you have let's say there's a clip up here, and maybe there's things on the like all over the place, and maybe there's even another clip down here on a different row. So you have all these rows, and sometimes you'll just want to cut out this little piece. But then here's what ends up happening is if I want to cut out this gap and I highlight everything here, I have to make sure I highlight everything. Otherwise, it doesn't move. So like, for example, if I mess up and I do the double click method, you notice everything moved except for this. That's a problem, right? So what I like to do is I like to do what's called a ripple delete. Let's say this is the spot that I want to delete. So I'll go here and I'll do my normal thing. I'll highlight everything, press B, which is the cut. Then I'll go to where I want to end, where I want to cut out. Hold the shift key and just move it to the beginning of the clip where I cut. So command delete. So command, that's the keyboard shortcut. So if I want to ripple delete this, I hold shift, highlight what I want to remove, then the command key, then the delete key. And as you see, it moves everything over together. So that one is a really good one. I use this all the time. And that way all of the stuff is preserved to the right of the video. So like if I have gaps and stuff. So if there's gaps and it's like this, and I just want to cut this little piece out, again, shift, command, delete. You see how everything moved over, including the gaps. That is really good with editing, and they call that ripple delete. And number 9 is adding text on your screen. So let's say I'm at the end of my video and I want to do a call to action. So what I can do is I can add what's called a text or title call out. So right here, I just click on text, top right corner, the little T, and then it says text and titles. So the difference here is text is just basic. So if you just want to add like your website and you just want to put that somewhere on the screen, as you can see, you just move it wherever you want on your screen. You can drag it, make it bigger. You can change the font size here if you need to. If you need to make it smaller, make it bigger. You can drag it to be bigger there. You can set it to center. You can do a whole bunch of other things. You can put animations, backdrop. But I usually use the text if I just want to do something simple and put it on the screen. And then right here on your timeline, you can make it longer and you can put it throughout the video if you'd like. So if you want it throughout the entire video, you can do that. Drag it for the entire video or just a certain part of your video. You just drag it right there. And that's how you put text on the screen. Now there's another one called title. So I can click title and I'll show you the difference. These are animations usually. So if I want to click this, as you can see, I can be like, so same kind of thing. You just put your website or whatever for more marketing tips or something, you know what I mean? Click on add. And then now I could do the same thing here. So as you can see, and then I can put that where I want it. I can make it bigger. I can change the colors over here if I want. So if I wanted this to, you click on that little color palette, it goes like this, and you can change some of the different colors. So if I wanted the text right here to change, I could change that to something that blends in with the background a little bit better. So black or blue or yeah, just something like that. But yeah, you guys get the point. It's basically just more of an animation, and I'll show you what it looks like when I press the play button. So let's see, that's the basic.
And then people can speed it up on their own later versus doing it in the editing. But just keep in mind, if you speed up this clip, you might want to speed up the clip that's under it as well.
Okay, so as you saw, it's just an animation.
You speed up this clip, you might want to speed up.
So that just makes your little text on the screen a little bit cooler, right? So that's the difference between text and title. So text, basic, you want something up quickly. Title, more of an animation effect. Okay. The tip number 10 is how to blur something. So let's say you are showing your screen here, and this is some sensitive information. Like right here, I don't want them seeing my face. Just kidding. But basically, let's say I just want to blur my face out. All I have to do is click right up here under call out. So it's this little call out button, this little arrow with a circle around it. Click on action. And then how I do it is I do a freehand. So I click on freehand. I choose the square. Now you can do the circle or the square, it doesn't really matter. Then you highlight what you want to blur. So let's say I want to blur this section. Okay. Now you have to mess with these settings over here. So the opacity, I turn that down to 0, and then you turn the blur up. So the black background is everything else but the thing you highlighted. And then this right here is the thing you highlighted. So there's the opacity. So that way, if you turn that all the way down, you'll see everything else is visible now. And the thing that you highlighted is blurry. Now I can also do that with other spots of the screen. So I want to blur that. Let's say I want to blur this up here. Let's say I want to blur this right here. And then there we go. And now everything is blurred on this part of the timeline or this clip right here. So how I make that longer is I click on the little call out there and I can move it around. I can make it longer in the clip. I can delete it if I click it and click on delete. But that's basically how you do it. Call out, action, and then you just have to mess with the opacity and the blur, freehand, highlight, and that's how you blur out sensitive information. But the last thing is you need to know how to export it, because sometimes when you export it, you might do it wrong. So what you do is you go to the file, you click on File at the very top left corner, you click on Export, and there's two really important things in this screen right here, and it's the preset as well as the resolution. And if you get these wrong, your video won't come out normal. So the first thing is the preset. I actually just suggest using the Web High preset. That usually gives you the best settings to just upload it anywhere. But if you wanted a little bit higher quality, here's what I have mine set to. I have one that I just set customize, and you guys can screenshot this if you'd like. I actually put it up to 10,000 kilobits per second, profile high. I use my actual hardware encoder, which is because I have an M2 MacBook Pro, which is really fast. So I like to use that. So you can screenshot this if you want to use the settings that I'm using. You can do that and then just click OK and then save it. Just click manage presets and then save it as a preset. If you would like, you can just screenshot again my settings here, but you'll be fine if you just do web high. That will work for mostly everything. Okay. And then just make your life a little bit simple. So that's the first thing. The second thing, this is super important. For some reason, it always defaults to 1920 by 1080, even if you're not doing that. So for example, when we did a vertical video and I showed you how to do the vertical video, this part defaults to 1920 by 1080 anyway. So then it takes your vertical video and makes it a horizontal video, which actually messes it up when you start uploading it everywhere. So you actually have to choose 100% of original. In fact, I just recommend always doing that setting. I wish it would just default to that, but it doesn't. So just no matter what video you ever do, even if you do a 4K video, vertical video, horizontal video, whatever video you do, always choose 100% of original, and then you'll just be safe no matter what, because it'll just go by the original canvas that you set up. So just do 100% of original, and then you're good to go. Then all you have to do is click on export. And then once it's exported, you are good to go. And it'll take a couple minutes depending on how fast your computer is. So that's it for this video tutorial with Screenflow. It's actually super simple once you get used to it. Once you get used to the keyboard shortcuts, it's my favorite tool by far. If you want to learn more about what we do online, go to seekprosperity.com. Make it a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.